So today we'll be building, previous thing I said we will be building some grading system for the students grading system. So, but I thought we'll cover up both classes and functions together. So I think that will be more easier to handle, and it will be easier for you guys to catch up. So this is where we are. So this is the previous thing where we left out. So let's continue from there. So what is our goal for today? Let me just put it out. So we'll create a class. Okay, we'll see static functions, and using static functions we'll compute something and we will run to the console. Okay, so this is entirely on e-commerce kind of a thing. Okay, so we will build the entire market, and we will build the a small e-commerce. Okay, so we'll have a couple of products. So when the user comes in, the user enters values, so we show him the products, and he has to choose what are the products he wants, and then if he clicks if he inputs checkout, we will check him out, and we will finally print what is the total amount, and what is this the what are the products on his cart. Okay, so that's the goal for today. So class, we'll explain class, static functions, and we'll use some previous thing we have seen loops, right? Loops, array. So we will use all those. We will use all those and build this entire thing. Okay. So first thing, we need a store. We need a class. Okay. Let's put a public class. Let's call it a store. So there are a couple of shorthands for your data members. So prop is one of the shorthands for doing it. So first we need the number of items in this cart, that is the total cart items. So this is the number of cart items that is in this cart, right? So this is the first thing that we need, and we also need if you have some suggestions to add, please do. So this is a live, so you can add some suggestions if you want. So you can put it in the chat. So public, we have a cart which stores all these values, right? So that will be, so that will be a string. Okay, list of strings. So what you get, this error is where you have to import generic. So when you there is a collection called generic which gives all the functionalities of list and dictionaries, and you can even use linked list. So those are the properties that you have. So we need the cart. So we will be storing all these items in a string. Okay, list of strings, so you can easily interpret from here. So we'll store strings in a list. So with that, I hope everything is good. So we'll finally have an integer which tells the total number. We'll have a float. We'll have a float which tells the total uh, of total amount. Float. Okay, so I think these are the things that are needed. So this will be giving you the total cart items. This will give the entire cart list, and this will give the total amount of the entire total amount that is he has purchased. So with that said, we need another place where we have few things declared. So we'll use this. So previously you didn't see this popping up, right? So it is coming from the class system collection generic. This contains all the list functions. So again we need a string. Okay, and we need the number of items. So this is static, so you can get it from database, so that is also possible, but we will keep it as of now. We have a static marketplace. Okay, so available items. Okay, this is Python code, so we need to use this to initialize. Yeah. Okay. This is an integer, right? Which is so let me see this one. I'm not sure. Hmm? We need to store list of strings. Yeah. So my bad. We have to use a curly brace instead of. Yeah. I think now it will work. Okay, this is it. So first we have a laptop. We have a mobile phone. Okay, let's make it. Since we need the prices as well, right? We need both the prices as well as need prices and the values. So we can even have it in a separate way. Okay, I think that's it. We don't need to have all these. We just need a couple of things. This is enough. So we need available items price, right? In items price. Okay, we don't need this anymore. So this. Okay. List of string. Try to get this string right. So okay, this is an integer, right? So what we have, you can even use float if you want. Float is also fine. Then we have the prices and float, right? You can even use the dictionary, that is pretty good. So you will get key value pairs. It is really good if you use, anything is fine. So let's put it as 200. Okay. Okay. That's 999, right? And then, yeah. This is a float value, and we are storing it in a float. And we have a mobile with okay. What we get? Okay. So this is a double. Cannot convert from double to float. Is this a double? Not sure. Okay, let's just change this one to double so it looks. So now everything is fine. So we have all these items. So we have just two items. Okay, we have a laptop and a phone. So we have a card, we have the total amount, we have total card items. So let's call this instance. So what we need to print is first the number of items, right? We need a while loop which never ends. So we'll use a while true. So this will never end unless and until we break it by conditionals. Okay. So let's move on. While true, we need to print the items, right? So what are the items that we have available items? We need to print it over there. So what we can do is we can create an instance of the store. Okay. Store, or you can give any name. Store, and so this is an instance of class. Okay. So this is an object. So what we need is we need all the items to be printed, right? So we need another function. Okay, let me show you a static okay, for this we will use a static method. Okay, print void print available items, right? Okay, so this will print all the available items on our list. So we'll use a for each. We'll use a for each to print the items. So the problem here is, so the static method will only take static values. Okay, so you cannot access these static values. So what you do, you take off static and then the available is over here. So you need a static variable to be since you don't have an instance of the class, so this has to be static. Okay, so we have the items and do a simple console, right? So we need in the next line. So what you do, so you can do alignment. So I'm not sure of. Now we print all these two. So we need another thing. We need the pricing also, right? So we need both the pricing and as well as the. So what we can do, we can convert our string to dictionary. Okay, so dictionary is a pretty you can, as I said, we can use both, but when you use dictionary, it is pretty easy that you can easily get both the key value pairs. Okay, so it is more easier for accessing. So I think we might have used dictionary in the first place. So this is also fine, we can use it. No, so we don't have any problem over there. So let's convert this thing to dictionary. So what we have is a string and we have a double over here. Okay. So the same way we need get rid of this one. Then new dictionary double string. So let's put in some values. The same laptop. So with dictionaries, we need a key and a value. So what you do, we need a key and the value for it. Okay, this is the key and this is the value. So we can do another product, which is mobile phone. So 399. So these are the two products that we have as of now. So we can clear this thing out. So we don't need anymore. So what you can do, you can read it as products. Since you have both the things merged, so you can put it as products. So what you get is product and a key, right? So you get a key value pair out of the for each. So you need two things now. Okay, so you need two things to print all the values in the dictionary. Okay, so you need an instance of a key, and you need an instance of you know an instance of both to be able to print all these two. Okay, this will be a tuple. So what you get is a key. Okay, so key is the laptop, and what we need is in another, or you can do a let us print it in the same thing. You can do a format percentage string. So this will be our what do you call it? This will be our string value, and this item dot value will be our float. Okay, so this will print both. Use right line so that it gets to the next line. So let's see if this thing works. So we have few things, and we have a function over here. So let's see if this will continue for a long time. So let's do a quick break once it has printed the products. Use to print products. So this will print all the products, and this will exit this loop. Okay. So if everything is fine, we will see the products. Oh my god. Let me check. Okay, we need this format, right? Okay, we need this in the fine. So what this error is saying is that this is the formatting option that we have in C#, where you can string format different things. Okay, so instead of no, my bad, this you don't have to use this. So you just need to print something. Okay, so this is the right way to do. Okay, so that was a pretty old example. So this is how you printed. So we have two products right now, right? We might even do a console right line where you need a list of products. You can say this. You can say that this is the list of products, and if you want, you can add a welcome message. Okay, then you can do a new line character, and then you can print the list of products. So this will give the customer that you have a single entity. Okay, so this you don't have to put it in a for each, since you have to print it only for the first time. Okay, you need to print this only for the first time. And what you can do next is, after we print, okay, so we need the values, right? So we need the laptop or this thing which is getting the values. So what you can do, you can get a user input. Okay, so if we will use a if conditional to check what user is entering, and based upon the user's input we will take some actions in the sense we will add it to the cart, or we will add it to the cart, or we will remove, or all the functions can be implemented over here. Okay, So let me quickly see through the chats. So is it for the Cognizant man? I'm not sure. So this we'll take it up later till the questions came in your test. So I think it was some pattern so that I have covered in the previous live. Okay, so if you are interested, you can watch that. I don't really remember what, but it was too basic. So you don't have to worry about the simulation test too much. So it was really too basic. So you can use again if you understand these concepts. So if you can understand what is a dictionary, what is a list, when where to use it, and if you do string formatting and other things, if you learn these, it is pretty easy for you to crack it up. So the first one was pattern. So if you can see this is the pattern that we have printed. So it is not this one, another staircase. So if you're interested, you can watch the previous one. So those will have all those details. So I have covered all the basics over there, and this time we are building an entire store which has customers coming in, and you can enter the products, and you will see a real-time feedback. So as of now, what we have is available items. We are printing it out, and then so we need to get the user's input. So what will the user input? Okay, we have to each and every time we have to get the input, right? So this will be a string. It is fine. So we'll use the string. So once the user, we'll use it once the user enters, checkout. Okay. Once the user enters checkout, we will, we'll check him out of the page. So let's see if users input is checkout, and we'll break from this loop. And what we will do is we have to print the cart and program. So this is what we have to do after the user types checkout. Okay. So what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't and he wants to buy something? Okay. So we have two items. Okay. So he can buy any one of two, or both. He can buy both. Okay. So we have to check that, right? So we have to check that. So you can do another else too. So since this is efficient way of doing things, since it is if the user doesn't enter checkout, he has to enter some kind of what do you call it? He has to enter a product name, right? So we can even have another thing. Okay. A list of products that we have set. So we can print a message stating that please select a product. Okay. So this will help us in identifying which product the user is selecting. So that will help us a lot. Okay. So when user enters a product, so we have to check which product the user has entered, right? We need to have a criteria that which product the user has entered, and what will they do with that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. We select a product, then we show him a list of products. So let's see if it still works. So okay, we need to slash over there. Okay. Yeah, slash t. Yeah, so you have you can even print it on the next line. The new line character over there. So please select a product. So when user selects a product, okay, so when user selects, no, we'll come to the else part. So we know that user has selected a product now. So if there was a checkout, the user will check out from the page. So let's check that functionality if things are working. So this is a for loop which is running for all, which is running, it is running for infinity. So let's do a checkout, and you see we have exited the, we have the program has exited. Okay, so the checkout functionality is working fine. Okay, so once that is done, so we need to check which product the user has entered. So we have two things. So we will put the key over here. Okay, so this is the products dictionary. So we need another function, okay, which returns void uh, add to cart. Okay, so this is the input that now that the user is gonna give us. He's gonna give us an item. So what we will do is we need to add it to the cart. Okay, so we need to check first which is the item, add, and what we need is products, and we'll pass in the item. Okay, so once this is done, okay, so this card is having string, so this card will have the values, right, the laptop and the phones. So the total card items is the number of items, and total amount is the number of paisas, the actual amount, right? So what you can do, you can add the card to the number of items, and you can the total amount is, whatever the total amount was set previously will be replaced by whatever the amount that we have now. Products, we'll capture, we have captured the item, right? Which item we have entered. So let's see what we got. We cannot implicitly convert, this is fine. So when you get these kind of errors, right, it's too annoying that, what is the, it's a float. Okay, so you can explicitly convert of you can do this, you can, it will implicitly convert your float numbers. So once that is done, so you can, I think it will be initially specified so that you can add various numbers. So we have added that, and this is also to be updated, total cart items. So you can do a simple plus plus, but it is safe that you do equal to 1. So you get the value from the class, and then you can again add it over there. So you can do it either way. So let's see if this functionality works. Okay, so add to cart and the user input. Okay, so we need a class. Okay, okay, fine. So what we will print, we'll print new store, what is the instance, and we'll print the car. So we'll print the cart and see if the thing has added properly. Okay, we'll print the cart. We might print other things. We'll print all these, and we'll see if things are printed properly. Okay, so this is the cart items, so it goes to the next line. Okay, so you will get a list over there, but let's see if things are adding perfectly. Okay, so card items and the total amount. So you have these two, okay, the total amount and the card items. So we'll get the total amount as well. the total amount. Okay, so we will see if this thing is working fine. So let's enter something. You will print this thing out after you have entered. So since it is a for loop, it will keep on going. So let's test this thing out. So this was expected. So you will get this error since you haven't initialized the uh, item, right? So what you can do over here is you can simply you can see unhandled exception. So the thing that this thing is throwing it is the add to cart function that we have. Okay, so we have an item over here. Okay, we are adding something to the cart, right? So this thing is added over here. So we need to check that if this thing is a valid string. The user can enter anything, right? So the user can enter laptop or any other thing as well. So you need to check whether the user is entering the right value. Let's check that. Then the add to cart. So if we don't do that, we can even initialize this thing. Okay, we can put a new and we can do an initialization over here. So let's see if this thing is working fine now. I didn't think to close this. Okay, so laptop. So you get the laptop, you get the card, you get the items, you get the list. Okay, so you get the list, order the list, and then you get the total amount. Okay, so everything is fine. So you can do a checkout to exit this thing. So everything seems working. We can remove this off since things are working now. So add to cart is working. So you need to print the card item. So we will do this separately. Okay, we will print this out. I guess we can even put the cart items as products. So it is easy for us to grab that. Or else you can do it from here as well. So you can grab the laptop item and then you can print the value over here. So that is more easier for us. So the add to cart functionality is working fine. Okay, so let me have a quick view on the chat window. Okay, what are the questions which will come? So it is not about the questions. Okay, so guys, please understand that it will be very easy. So you don't have to worry about all the questions and DSA. So they won't ask too difficult. Okay, so they know that you are a fresher and you are entering into corporate just now. Okay, so they know the standard that you have learned, or they know the standard, right? So what might have you learned in your college. So uh, just try to keep it simple and try to cover the basics up. So that is what I keep on repeating: cover your basics, right? So when you cover your basics, right, then you in the intern it is pretty easy that you will get familiar with all the frameworks. So it is easier for you to catch up with the frameworks once you are done with once you are properly covered your basics, right? Okay, so I hope that answers that question. So let's continue. So we have the add to cart functionality working. Okay, so we need another functionality where we print after doing a checkout. We don't have to break, we have to break as well, and we have to print all the values. Okay, so we don't want this since we know that what will come over here. So once we break, okay, so once we break from once the user checks out, clicks enters checkout. So we will print the number of total order card items, and we will print all those. Okay, so you can do another thing. Okay, so instead of print available items, you can even print the cart. Okay, let's do another quick function which will return a void. Okay, print cart items. So what this will do, this will get a string list of strings. Okay, list of strings as an input, and then it will print off. It will print all the things over there. But thing is that we have only the names of the items, so we need to get it from the dictionary. So how do you do that? Hold dot line. Then we need to put a for before that. So put a for each. So it is pretty easy that everything is printed. Card items. Then you move it over here. Okay, we have the items, right? We have the items, so we will get the values from there. Okay, as we did for we'll just do quick copy paste. Okay, so we don't have the keys and values. What we have is the name of the item, and for values we have to get it from the products. So products dot item will give you the value of the product. Okay, so once this is done, okay, once this is done, we can use it over here. Once the user breaks off, let me move this. Yeah, look proper in that. So once the user exits out, so instead of new store, you can use customer. It really depends. Okay, print card item, so that is what we want. Okay, instead of getting it from here, we can use the cart, right? You don't even have to get it from there. You need the cart of the particular instance. Okay, unreachable code, right? Break below. So once that is done, console dot write line, again we print the total amount. Total amount is 0, and new store dot total amount. So this will give you the total amount of the particular user or the card. I think everything is working. It's time to test. So we'll see. We will first add one item, and then we'll see more. Okay. So time to test. So we have please select a product. We have the list of items. So we'll select a laptop first. So this is prompting us to enter another item or just exit. Okay, so we can do a format thing so that it looks good. So let's check out now. See, so this is the laptop we have selected, and the total amount is 799. So let's select both laptop and the phone and do a checkout. So make sure that you spell it right. So since we are using a string, so you spell it out, then it might be wrong. So let's do a quick math of adding these. Okay, 9999. Yeah. So this is how you build a basic skeleton of e-commerce. So what we have is a simple e-commerce app. So this is the same thing that you will do with the UI. So when you go to web development, this is the same thing that you will do with the UI. So you have the buttons over there, you have the input fields, and you have other things. But this is the basic structure. What you do, you you print, you show all the. Let me comment this quickly so that. Products. So what you do, you show the products to the customer, right? So once the get the input of the customer, so get the input of the customer, then you check if the customer is checking out or selecting another item. So so you have to validate if the user is checking out or if the user wants to add something. So when the user checks out, you print the card items and the card items of that particular customer, and you print the total amount, and then you break off the function. Okay, so you break off that. Or else there is an else case where we have add to cart, where you have the user input, right? So we have a user. Okay, so how I did this is, double click on this and press control, sorry, function 12, so you will get to the function directly. So this is pretty useful when you work in a large project and you want to search for all the functions that you have written. Okay, so this is pretty easy that you can quickly do all the tasks. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to post that. Okay, so I think we are done for the day. So if you have any questions, I can see. Let me quickly see the chat. So hope the functionality is clear, right, guys? All the functionality is working. So we have two items, and you can extend these. So you can extend all these items, and then you can always extend these items. So it is not a big deal. So this will come from the database, guys. When you work on a real time use case, this will come from the database. So it will come from the database, and you have to show to the customer, and let's see if the user what the customer picks, and based upon that you have to act, and you have to add it to the cart, or you have to delete it, or you have all the basic functionality. So if you have used Flipkart, or you have I hope you have really purchased something at least by now. On the Great Indian Sale is going on, so you might have bought something. So even if the Flipkart Republic sales is going on, so you might have bought something. So I guess that's it. So I don't see any questions. So I'll wait for a few more minutes for any questions to come in. So I'll run through this entire program again. Okay, and show you another output. So we'll add this time phone first, and then we will add the laptop. So that those are the just two we have. So you can extend this. Okay. So first we have the entry point of main. Okay, so we have a store class. Okay, we'll run through this thing again. In the store class we have total cart item. So the entire item, the number of items that the user has added to his cart, and we have the cart itself, the user's cart, and we have the total amount, which will which you typically see on your checkout page when you use Amazon or Flipkart or any other e-commerce. So we have this product dictionary, which will contain key value pair of laptop and the floating point numbers. Yeah, so just give me a second, we'll come back. So sorry for the interruption. So we'll continue. So this is the key value pair. Okay, so this product is the key value pair that we have. Okay, and then we have function which gives all the items. Okay, so this is welcome to the store and blah blah blah. You can use anything you want. Okay, this will print all the products on the pro on the store. Okay, so this function will add, you can add another case where if if the product is not on the list. So if you enter other than what is on the list, you will get an error, right? You have to handle that. You have to use a try catch, and you have to handle that if the user enters another value which is not on the products list. You have to definitely use a try catch to catch the error. Use try catch. So you have to use a try catch to scrutinize the what the user has entered. So the item is the thing that the user entered. So you have to scrutinize, and you have to see if what the user has entered, and if the user has entered an invalid item which is not available on our list. So you have to prompt the user that you have entered an invalid product. You have to re-enter, or you can check out. So those are the two things that you have to do. Okay, so this thing is done. So what this add to cart function is does, it adds the item to the cart, and we increment the cart items. Okay, so the number of cart items in the the cart items in the store, and the total amount is we increment that amount as well. So those are the two functions we have for the user, and this one is for printing all the items in the cart. So the user's cart. So the first method was to print all the available items on the products, so the product items, and this one is for printing out the cart items. Okay, the cart products that the user has entered. Okay, so let's see how this thing works again. A quick run through. This thing is done. We have a while through which keeps on running until the user checks out. So only when the user enters checkout, this break will be this block will be executed, and when this block executed, then the break is done and then comes out of the loop. Okay, so new store, we get the total items, we print the cart items, and we prompt tell the user that this is the total amount that you have to pay. And you can add any other things like we thanks for shopping, thanks, and come again. So this is a typical thing that they do. Okay, so this will put it on the another line. Okay, so once that is done, so you have these things printed out. Okay guys, I think it's done for the day. So please leave a comment if you are if you have any questions, or else it's done for the day. We'll close this session and see you on the next one. So I guess things are clear. Good to go. Okay guys, thanks for watching. stay tuned for the next one. We will start with SQL. So we'll use MS SQL for querying our database. So we'll create a simple. We'll continue with this e-commerce itself. We will create the same table over the database, and we'll query all these things from the database. Okay, so I'll show you this at the end, the next one. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. So this code will be available on my GitHub repo. So if you want, you can check that out and you can get the same program, and you can tweak something out, and you can tweak it out and see if you can find another thing. Okay, so you can build on top of this. So this is just a simple skeleton of how an e-commerce works. So this is a simple skeleton of how things work. So if you're interested, you can take this out, and you can use the same. You can use the same and see if things are working for you also. Okay, so see you guys in the next one.